This program is brought to you by CD-ROM International.
Hi, welcome to the CD-ROM Review. I'm Roger Hutchison.
And I'm Julie Kravanek. CD-ROMs are amazing. They let you store huge amounts of data. They have room to include fantastic interactive software, plus sounds and pictures, even video. We've shown you CD-ROMs that hold entire encyclopedias, even libraries.
Imagine being able to take it all with you. Today we're going to introduce you to a new, smaller CD-ROM system. It's really exciting. If you work in business or in government, you're going to be especially interested in our program today.
Coming up on the CD-ROM Review, the Panasonic notebook computer with a CD-ROM drive.
You might have guessed there are now 2 CD-ROM sizes, but the good news is one CD-ROM drive handles both.
And we'll show you a law library you can carry around with you. So stay with us for the CD-ROM Review.
What is a CD-ROM?
A convertible with twin overhead cams, 300 horsepower, mag wheels, and a spoiler?
Not even close. A CD-ROM is an adventure, your window on the world. See and hear history, a safari, a vacation, even a trip into outer space. A CD-ROM can help you explain your ideas and explore business, medicine, law, desktop publishing, or any other field. To discover the latest in CD-ROM technology and find out about nearly 1,000 CD-ROM products, call for our brochure, 1-800-CD-ROM-05.
These are the best deals available for moving into the world of CD-ROM. Our double-speed CD-ROM starter kit is just $299. You'll get a Panasonic double-speed CD-ROM drive with fantastic CD-ROM discs. For a limited time, we'll include Compton's Interactive Encyclopedia, a $299 value, a shareware CD, plus a Kodak Photo CD viewer. Or move up to our Classic Collection, a complete multimedia experience for just $399. You get the double-speed CD-ROM drive and an 8-bit sound card. You also get 6 terrific CD-ROM discs, including Microsoft Bookshelf, Macromedia Action, Clip Media, Halo Desktop Imager, Mantis, and a shareware disc. For the ultimate experience in multimedia CD-ROM, try our double-speed Supra Collection. For $499, it's everything in the Classic Collection, plus the LaserWave Supra 16-bit sound card. To order the starter kit, the Classic Collection, or the Supra Collection, call our toll-free order line today. Act now and you'll also get Opta-CD, a program that increases the performance of your CD-ROM.
Welcome back. You know, the trend with computers, small, lighter, more powerful, and more information. Even if you're jaded, this is going to knock your socks off. A powerful, upgradable notebook computer with a CD-ROM drive. Roger, how does it work?
It's just a regular notebook computer, Julie. It's made by Panasonic. And
it's tiny.
It's incredibly small. It weighs about 6 pounds. It has an active color matrix monitor to it. It's 10.4-inch monitor, which is, I guess, the largest in the industry today. It has several unique features to it, including a slot that has 2 PCM-CIA ports in it. This is a PCM-CIA fax modem card made by US Robotics. And you can, in these PCM-CIA devices, put everything in from fax modems to sound cards to additional RAM to even a hard drive. So PCM-CIA Type 2, there are 2 devices, or PCM-CIA Type 3, there's 1 device. It also has what is an incredibly unique feature, which is a built-in CD-ROM drive.
So small.
It's a 3.5-inch CD-ROM disc, which is the newest standard in the industry today. And kind of like in the computer industry when we went from 5.25-inch discs to 3.5-inch discs, the same thing is happening in the CD-ROM industry. We can put 180 megabytes on that disc. Now, one of the incredibly unique features of this is I can take out that CD-ROM drive and I can put in either an extra battery or I can put in a 3.5-inch floppy in the same slot. And it clips in. And then as we go around the device, we have a parallel port for printing, and on the back there's a docking port so I can take it with me in the field, and then when I come back to my office I can slide it in. And it also has some very unique features, a video out, like I gave a demonstration the other day in which I had to give a demonstration to a very large real estate company, you know, very top executives in a real estate company. So the night before I prepared a demonstration, I made a CD-ROM disc of the demonstration in our office. We have the equipment to do that. And then I put it on a CD-ROM disc and I walked into the office with this. Just
Only
this. And it was a multimedia demonstration to the top executives of a very big real estate office. And, you know, very modestly, they were quite impressed.
Oh, sure.
It also has a serial port. This is to connect an external mouse if you want to. It does have a built-in mouse in it, as well as the ability to connect other devices through this device, and there's a security lock here. Now, one of the unique features on this also is I can take the monitor off, turn it around 180 degrees, and give you a presentation sitting across the table from me.
So I could work on it over here, and people could view it from the front.
That's exactly right. And it does have
That's
a
nice.
built-in trackball and several other unique features, upgradable features.
Okay.
So this is the Panasonic CF-V21P.
Okay, that's good. I'm sure people are wondering about the two different size discs. If you get the smaller ones for your notebook, do you have to duplicate them with larger discs for your desktop computer?
Well, that's a good question. The older CD-ROM technology, the one that's been around since 1985, and CD audio, which has been around since 1978, uses what we call a 5 1/4 inch CD-ROM disc.
Yeah, this is what we're most familiar with. We've seen
Exactly.
that, yeah.
The 5 1/4 inch CD-ROM disc can contain about 660 megabytes.
What's that? How much is that? What does
Well,
that mean?
660 megabytes is roughly equivalent to 300,000 pages of text. And if it were video, it would be 74 minutes of video.
Okay.
We can also put about 6,000 in very enhanced graphic images on this size of a disc. Now, the newer format that we're using, and this is by no means obsolete, and we don't want to mislead anyone and suggest that 5 1/4 inch technology is obsolete. It certainly isn't. However, for portable applications, the 3 1/2 inch format can contain 180 megabytes of data.
So how much is that?
Well, it's roughly 1/3. So if we can put 300,000 pages on this, we could put 100,000 pages on this. Now, in the notebook computer, the Panasonic notebook computer, you just open the tray and drop in the disk, and you now have what's equivalent to, we'll say, 100,000 pages available with you that you can carry with you in the field and in a 6-pound environment.
If I have my information on a bigger disk, how can I get it onto a smaller disk?
You know, that's very interesting. We've looked at perhaps 2,000 CD-ROM disks, and about a half of them have less than 180 megabytes on them. So right now, the existing databases out there, we could take about half of them and put them on this side with no modifications. For those that exceed 180 megabytes, of course, you'd have to use more than one disk.
Okay.
3 1/2 inch format.
Not too complicated.
Exactly.
What can you do with a notebook computer and CD-ROM drive? Lots.
Just as an example, you can carry around a library. We'll show you when the CD-ROM review continues.
These are the best deals available for moving into the world of CD-ROM. Our double-speed CD-ROM starter kit is just $299. You'll get a Panasonic double-speed CD-ROM drive with fantastic CD-ROM discs. For a limited time, we'll include Compton's Interactive Encyclopedia, a $299 value, a shareware CD, plus a Kodak Photo CD viewer. Or move up to our Classic Collection, a complete multimedia experience for just $399. You get the double-speed CD-ROM drive and an 8-bit sound card. You also get 6 terrific CD-ROM discs, including Microsoft Bookshelf, Macromedia Action, Clip Media, Halo Desktop Imager, Mantis, and a shareware disc. For the ultimate experience in multimedia CD-ROM, try our double-speed Supra Collection. For $499, it's everything in the Classic Collection, plus the LaserWave Supra 16-bit sound card. To order the starter kit, the Classic Collection, or the Supra Collection, call our toll-free order line today. Act now and you'll also get Opta-CD, a program that increases the performance of your CD-ROM.
Get it done, anywhere, anytime. These are the demands of the 90s. To help you meet these demands head-on, meet Panasonic's revolutionary new CF-V21P notebook computer. The first with a built-in CD-ROM option, offering the largest color-active matrix LCD. More options, more upgrades, more features to make getting it done your everyday reality. Ready to take multimedia on the road? The Panasonic CF-V21P gets it done with a built-in CD-ROM disk drive, brilliant color screen, and CD-quality sound card. Ready to leave the heavy manuals at the office? The Panasonic CF-V21P gets it done. Ready for easy-to-install upgrades like a pen-based tablet and an audio-video tuner? Ready to get it done anywhere, anytime? Call 1-800-742-8086 for the dealer nearest you. and for our free brochure.
The Panasonic CFV21P isn't just a portable CD-ROM drive. It has a lot of other practical uses. For instance, it can keep you cruising along the information highway. Roger's going to show us how it can send or receive a fax.
What we have, Julie, is a fax modem in the PCM-CIA Type 2 format.
It's so small.
It's really incredible. It's about maybe the size of 2 credit cards put on top of each other. Now, in the side of the Panasonic notebook computer, there's the ability to put 2 PCM-CIA cards, Type 2. So I can put in a fax modem, and then the peripheral devices that attach to it are much bigger than the device itself. I can plug in the external wire, and if I put it in the right way, it works a lot better. And then there's different connections. This is made by US Robotics, this fax modem card. There are different connections, one for the USA, and there's connections for all the different major countries of the world.
Oh, so I could use this on any phone?
Any phone in the world, as long as you have
right
the correct connector, and then you clip in the wire and then plug it in the wall. Now, the other way to do it is to take this device and plug it into a cellular phone, and that cellular connection, of course, would make you wireless. Now, what we've done is we've composed a letter to a colleague of mine in Japan, Mr. Yasui. Now, I'll demonstrate how we can take that letter and, while we're sitting here, fax it to any fax machine in the world. So I've just composed the letter just like I would normally compose a letter.
Okay.
And I can go up here and put in Mr. Yasui's name, and then I can tab down and put in his phone number. So 011 would
His
be
fax number.
the beginning of the international code,
Okay.
and then put in his phone number. And then I can also save in the phone book feature over here. I can add to the phone book that number and that name and put in his address. And then I can select and send the fax. Now, what I've got here is I select the fax cover sheet, so I can custom design it or select a canned form. And then I can select OK and go back and send the fax.
Now, does he have to have this machine particularly to receive it?
All he has to have is an inexpensive fax machine, either in his office or his home, and the letter will be there in as quick a period of time as the phone system can handle it.
And you can file this fax?
I can file the fax, I can file it electronically, I can print it off on a paper, and with this US Robotics...
So you could print this if you had a
if you had a printer attached to this, you could print the fax off here. Now, I can also receive faxes with this as well. And with this PCM-CIA from US Robotics, I can also have room for another PCM Type 2 card in here. So it's really quite a remarkable device, and there's a whole bunch of different PCM-CIA type cards available today, including a sound card, a LAN connection, additional RAM, a hard drive. I mean, there's just a whole host of PCM-CIA type cards out in the marketplace
So you can
today.
interchange them depending on what your needs are and what your business is about at the time. And
Exactly. This really gives the business person the ability to have truly a portable office. And with the CD-ROM drive feature, which is actually built into the system, we really expand tremendously the ability of this technology to take portable information in the field.
Great. Thanks, Roger. If you'd like to buy the US Robotics WorldPort PCM-CIA fax modem card, call 1-800-CD-ROM-05. Have you ever wished you had a library just to look up a famous quotation or reread a passage from one of the great books you read in college? Well, here it is. It's called the Electronic Home Library. Roger, what's on it?
Well, you know, it's got over 250 literary titles on the 3.5-inch disc. We've made about 100 of these for different companies so far, and basically they provide the content and we make it available on 3.5-inch format for this notebook computer. This was produced originally by a company called the World Library, and it's really an extraordinary company that produces very valuable databases on CD-ROM. Now, we've loaded the icon. It's a Windows-based program or a DOS-based program.
What's an icon?
An icon is in the Windows environment and also a Mac environment. You have basically a picture describing what is behind it instead of words.
Okay.
And so the icon permits us to graphically interface with the database. Now what we have now is basically the opening menu, electronic home library, copyright 1993 by the World Library Incorporated. Press any key to continue. And then we see, once again, there are several ways to interface with this particular product. You can search by titles, you can search by authors, you can search by words, you can even develop a strategy to use in your searching technique.
What does that mean, develop a strategy to use?
Well, you can create like a Boolean logic or a sequence of logic to go into the database. Now I'm going to click on titles, and you can see on the left the title and on the right the author. So I can get down to really anyone here. For example, Annabelle Lee, and I can click on that, or I can go to the annexation of the Hawaiian Islands. I can go into some of the Greek classics, and you can see it's just very extensive. There's 250 different literary books titles on this particular product. So let me just pick any one here. For example, clouds. So I can click on clouds, double click on it, and bring up Aristophanes' very famous book called Clouds. And you saw how quickly that was.
Now, is this his whole book?
This is the entire Clouds book by Aristophanes. And there's, once again, there's 250 different items on this particular product. Isn't that just incredible?
Yeah.
I can also jump straight to the next title. I can go to the next screen. There's different fonts for the presentation. There's descriptions, and there's even the ability to have a bookmark.
What does that mean?
A bookmark means, just like a bookmark when you're reading a regular book, you put in a bookmark. Well, you can do it electronically. So I just jumped from Aristophanes' Clouds to the Comedy of Errors, and you can see you can jump, either go back deeper and deeper into the individual database or go straight forward. The next one is Common Sense by Thomas Paine. And in the Windows environment, there's the ability to drag icons down or to move up and down with the bar. So I've now jumped down to about the middle of Thomas Paine's Common Sense book, and you can see how easy it is to navigate. I can jump all the way down towards the end, for example. It takes just a moment to do that, and then I can click to the next title. There's over 100 CD-ROM discs available at this time for this product in the industry today.
Okay. If you'd like to own the electronic home library, you can order it for just $79.95. Now compare that to buying all of the books separately and all the bookcases. Call 1-800-CD-ROM-05, 24 hours a day. These days, legal questions pop up a lot. Everything from liability to tax stuff. Now you can carry with you a legal library, the complete home and office legal guide. Roger, how does this work?
What we've got is a new 3.5-inch CD-ROM disc, and it's by a company called Chestnut, and it's the complete home and office legal guide. It has 500 legal forms on it.
Oh, it's got forms.
It's got forms. It also has contracts, pre-prepared contracts. It has examples of wills. It has commercial leases, residential leases. It even has selected U.S. Supreme Court cases from 1969 to 1992, and many, many significant legal decisions. Now, I've loaded it. It's both a Windows and a DOS program, and I've loaded it in DOS to show the DOS capability of the Panasonic notebook computer. Now, you can see annotated statutes, court rules and decisions, tutorials, legal documents. In other words, you can bring up some legal documents, and then there are examples, and then you fill in your name, your address, and customize them for yourself. You can prepare, save, print the legal documents. You can review them, and then exit back to the DOS shell. So I'll jump down to...
Now, what if I had a problem with the IRS?
If you had trouble with the IRS, I don't think I want to give legal advice on that. Okay, we could say go down to sample category, or fill in the blanks category. So we could go to the samples. There's samples for real estate. There's samples for personal and family information. There's corporations, lending and borrowing, partnerships, and that sort of thing. So I can jump down to personal and family, for example, and I can hit enter, and then go down to estate planning, powers of attorney, children's and adoption forms. I mean, it's really a wealth of information of necessary legal documentation.
So this would give us documents as well as information that might explain things to me, or?
Yes, you actually could bring up Supreme Court decisions. You could bring up very significant legal decisions on the disk. Or if you just needed, if you were, say, an attorney or even somebody just using or needing a will, for example, you don't necessarily have to have an attorney, or you could use this in addition to an attorney to save yourself some money. So, for example, I could go up to Powers of Attorney, hit Enter, and go down to Power of Attorney Forms, and then bring up the forms and print them offline. So the particular database that we're looking at gives you the ability to bring up the forms, fill in the forms,
Print
bring
it
up,
out.
print them out, bring up the legal decisions, read them as they relate to what your interests might be. And once again, the capacity of this technology is about 100,000 pages.
Okay, if you'd like the complete home and office legal guide, we can offer it to you for just $29.95. Call 1-800-CD-ROM-05, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Do you like the idea of having a CD-ROM drive in your notebook computer?
If you do, you're going to love the bundle of the week. Stay with us as the CD-ROM review continues.
What is a CD-ROM?
A convertible with twin overhead cams, 300 horsepower, mag wheels, and a spoiler?
Not even close. A CD-ROM is an adventure, your window on the world. See and hear history, a safari, a vacation, even a trip into outer space. A CD-ROM can help you explain your ideas and explore business, medicine, law, desktop publishing, or any other field. To discover the latest in CD-ROM technology and find out about nearly 1,000 CD-ROM products, call for our brochure. 1-800-CD-ROM-05.
These are the best deals available for moving into the world of CD-ROM. Our double-speed CD-ROM starter kit is just $299. You'll get a Panasonic double-speed CD-ROM drive with fantastic CD-ROM discs. For a limited time, we'll include Compton's Interactive Encyclopedia, a $299 value, a shareware CD, plus a Kodak Photo CD viewer. Or move up to our Classic Collection, a complete multimedia experience for just $399. You get the double-speed CD-ROM drive and an 8-bit sound card. You also get 6 terrific CD-ROM discs, including Microsoft Bookshelf, Macromedia Action, Clip Media, Halo Desktop Imager, Mantis, and a shareware disc. For the ultimate experience in multimedia CD-ROM, try our double-speed Supra Collection. For $499, it's everything in the Classic Collection, plus the LaserWave Supra 16-bit sound card. To order the starter kit, the Classic Collection, or the Supra Collection, call our toll-free order line today. Act now and you'll also get Opta-CD, a program that increases the performance of your CD-ROM.
This week's bundle is terrific, a complete portable CD-ROM package. And Roger, what's in the package?
Well, the essence of the package is the notebook computer. It's a 486 class computer. It's an SX25, and it has 4 megabytes of RAM and a 200 megabyte hard drive. It also has a 10.4-inch active color matrix monitor, which we showed earlier in the program is reversible 180 degrees. It also has a 3.5-inch floppy disk, high-density floppy disk, and the slots for 2 PCMCIA cards. You can put in either a fax modem, LAN, additional RAM, an additional hard drive, and even a sound card. There's even a PCMCIA sound card available today. That doesn't come with the package, but the PCMCIA slots do. The CD-ROM drive, however, does, as well as the hard drive. There's a battery built into the system, a built-in trackball, and 5 CD-ROM disks.
And what are the discs?
What we thought we have about 100 that we can choose from at this time, and with the unit comes a catalog of all the 3.5-inch CD-ROM discs that are available today. And that catalog is constantly being upgraded.
This catalog.
Well, this catalog is our catalog, and it does come with the system. It has 1,500 products available in the CD-ROM industry itself.
Okay.
We also have what we think is a very practical CD-ROM disc. It's the Chestnut Complete Home and Office Legal Guide, and it has on it 500 legal forms. It has on it letters and wills and that sort of thing. It also has on it, or one of the discs that are available in the bundle today is the Electronic Home Library. The Electronic Home Library has 250 different literary titles available today. We also have the Encyclopedia of Fly Fishing, and we put this in just for you, Julie. We know that you like fly fishing. And we have something called Morph Madness.
What's Morph?
Morph Madness, you saw the movie Terminator 2, there was a lot of morphing technology.
Yeah.
That's very computer intensive, and I think that the company that did that used the silicone graphics device. It's very, very intensive computer and very high technology. It's the ability to start with something and morph into the other. And it's kind of a game like edutainment or education or entertainment.
It's strange.
Well, it's, you can start with an animal and go to a person, and you can morph from, say, objects from one object to another, and it's really a screensaver.
Now, could I morph my my home videos? You know, could I morph my mother?
You could morph your mother or your mother-in-law if you wanted to, if you had one.
Okay.
Okay.
Just $4,900 and you're on the road. To order it, call toll-free 1-800-CD-ROM-05. Or for this or any other CD-ROM review product, you can also send a check or money order to CD-ROM International, 603 Park Point Drive, Suite 110, Golden, Colorado, 80401. We get a lot of questions about CD-ROMs, and here are just a few. Now, Roger, one person says he has to work with huge amounts of paper, and he wants to know if there's a way that he could put it on a CD-ROM.
Well, the answer is yes. There are two different ways to get paper information onto a CD-ROM disk. A lot of people who publish at this time have the information in electronic format, and they can send that electronic format on floppy disks, a hard drive, a magneto-optical device, a CD-ROM disk if they have one-off equipment, to a company like ours that will take that information and directly produce it on a CD-ROM disk. The other way to do it is to have a scanner take the paper. For example, we can take this paper, we can put it on a scanner, scan it, run it through what's called an optical character recognition software program to recognize the individual letters, and then take that from the hard drive and make a CD-ROM disk.
And they would be able to do that through you?
They certainly could do that through our company, and our company has a consulting division that does nothing but production of CD-ROM disks.
Okay. The next question, would it be better to put it onto a 5¼ inch disc or a 3½ inch disc?
Well, that's a good question, particularly given that we've been introducing the 3½ inch format recently. The only reason to put their CD-ROM information on 3½ inch format is if the user of that wants to carry it in the field. The CD-ROM, double-speed CD-ROM drives that we sell are caddy-less. In other words, the old technology, you'd have to take the CD-ROM disk, put it in a caddy, and then put that caddy into the CD-ROM drive. The drives that we've been selling this year have no caddy. In the CD-ROM drive, you can put either a 5¼ inch or a 3½ inch disc, which means that at the desktop level, you could use either format, 3½ inch or 5¼ But the real reason to use 5¼ is because you need to have it stationary, and the reason to use 3½ is you want a notebook computer with a built-in CD-ROM drive, 3½ inch to take it portable in the field.
So unless you had a notebook computer, there'd be no need to put it on a 3½ inch.
That's correct, really. It's really a business application for portability.
Okay. And the last question we had was, where can someone go to have a CD-ROM disc made? And you talked about that a little bit.
Yeah, well, there are several companies in the United States that make CD-ROM discs. And there are two types of companies. There are very big companies, like there's a company called Nimbus Information Systems in Charlottesville, Virginia. There's a company called 3M. Of course, everyone knows 3M, but they have an optical products division in St. Paul. There's Warner Brothers. There's a company called Distronics. And there's a company called Denon and a couple others. These companies can mass produce CD audio, like in between 10 million copies of Michael Jackson's latest release. They'll do a few hundred copies of CD-ROM. And the second type of
and
company...
hopefully you won't get Michael Jackson, you'll get...
Right. The second type of company are companies like us that can make low volumes and do the development work.
Okay. If you have a question about CD-ROMs, please send it to CD-ROM International, 603 Park Point Drive, Suite 110, Golden, Colorado, 80401.
Be sure to come back next week when we review the top 25 CD-ROM discs of 1993.
And we'll show you some great new games on CD-ROM. Thanks for watching.
See you next week.